In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I've transformed my epic gaming setup from this into this. So now it's got streaming attached to it. So I can do more than just game in this setup now. I can also live stream from it. So in today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through the process that I followed in doing it. With this setup right here, you're going to need a few things at the base level to start. In my case, I already had a bunch of consoles like the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, as well as a Nintendo Switch OLED. I also had a PC that I had built, for gaming. So the PC that you'll see me use throughout the video is pretty stacked. You don't need as much, power from a PC to be able to stream, as long as you're not going to be gaming on the same PC. If you plan on gaming on the same PC as well as live streaming from the same PC, then you're going to need something that's pretty stacked. But if you already have a console, say a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, or even a Nintendo Switch, and you want to stream from one of these consoles, then there's some basic specs that you need, to be able to live stream, depending on what you're looking for, what kind of quality. If you're going for 1080 HD quality, then you might not need as much power as, if you're planning on streaming 4K or HDR or any of that crazy stuff right there. I won't be getting into the software aspect of this, the software setup. So it's essentially just the hardware setup that I'll be talking about in this video. So the first thing that I decided to do to get this setup up and running was get some good lighting. So I invested in some Elgato key lights. So they're Wi-Fi enabled lighting that are super easy to set up. I got about 2 of them, and they come with desk clamps. So you just kind of attach them on there and you slide each light on there. It's super easy to set it up, and controlling it is amazing because you can do it using the Control Center app, which you can get on your phone, Mac, or PC, so Windows. And it allows you to control things like brightness as well as the color temperature, so between 2700 Kelvin and 6500 Kelvin. So it's pretty cool. There's other options out there that you can go for, lots more that are cheaper, but I prefer Elgato lighting because I've used Elgato products before and it's worked well for me. You should go ahead and do some research on 3-point lighting system if you're interested in learning more about how to properly light up your live stream or game setup. The next thing I added to the setup was an Elgato 4K 60 Pro Mark II. So this is a capture card, and you're going to need one to capture gameplay directly from your consoles or even from your PC. So I used it because I needed to stream gameplay or record gameplay coming out of the PlayStation 5 and upload it to YouTube. So if you're going to be streaming to Twitch, you're going to need an external or an internal capture card. So the 4K 60 Pro Mark II is an internal capture card that allows you to just install it inside the PC. So if you have a modular PC that you can open up, then you can definitely install it as long as you have access to the PCIe slots. But if you don't have that and you have a laptop, then you're going to need to pick up an external capture card. So Elgato has got one as well. Process of installing this was super easy. All I needed to do was open up the PC, install the capture card into an empty PCIe slot, and then just close it back up. So it's got 2 ports. There's the in and there's the out. One cable from the PS5 to the Mark II, and then from the Mark II directly to your TV or your monitor, whatever it is you're using to display your gameplay. I can always switch if I want to record my Xbox and just plug that directly into the in port of the Mark II, and it's still going to the TV. So anytime I want to switch between either of them or even a Nintendo Switch, then I can always do that. The next thing I went ahead to add at this point was a monitor. So you need a second monitor to be able to display what you're streaming, the settings, your OBS if you're going to be using OBS, the Elgato 4K capture utility if you're going to be using that. So essentially it's going to act as a second display, showcasing what's being displayed from your console. That way you can see what you're recording, what quality you're recording in, and you can tweak settings here and there and all of that cool stuff. It also acts as a screen where you can chat and respond to chats if you're going to be talking on Twitch and whatnot and all of that. For my setup, I went for a portable monitor, so a 15.6 inch HD portable monitor. And I went for this because I already have a 48-inch OLED TV that I use as my main display when I'm gaming. So I didn't want something else that would make the space look so cramped up. So there's other things you can get. You can get a regular monitor, you can get 2 TVs. It's up to you how you want to set it up, but you need 2 different displays. The way I've got the monitor set up is through a USB-C cable going directly from the monitor to power. And then there's another USB-C cable that's attached to a Wacom Link Plus. And that Wacom Link Plus essentially connects using DisplayPort directly to my PCs. I switch positions all the time because it's a portable monitor and it allows me to do that. Sometimes I'll have it at the center or on the right side. Sometimes I'll have it on the left side. So I decide where I want, to put my monitor. As for camera options, there's a lot you can use. You can even use a simple USB webcam that just connects directly to your PC. But what I did was I used an external camera, standalone mirrorless camera. So a Canon EOS M6 Mark II mirrorless camera. And what I did was I provided consistent power to that by using the battery that you can essentially connect the power adapter to, and it keeps it powered on all the time. So it doesn't die. It's not using battery power at this point anymore. I connected the camera to my PC using a USB to USB-C cable. So I can also say the same thing works for Sony cameras. I don't know about any other cameras because I've not, I don't have any experience with any other cameras, but you can essentially turn your DSLR or your mirrorless camera into a webcam. So you just need to provide clean HDMI output. If you are using the Canon EOS M6 Mark II, what you want to do is download the software, which is what I did. I downloaded the EOS webcam utility software on Windows, and then that will allow you to use that camera as a webcam. So what you got to do at this point is just connect from USB-C directly to USB. And what I did was I extended the cable because the cable wasn't long enough to reach, and what I did was I extended that cable by using another USB cable and a USB cable extender essentially. The setup of the camera was quite easy and it works very well with OBS, and I was quite satisfied with the end results. The way I've mounted the camera is using an extension rod. So I use a rod that has a ball head, so it basically allows me to attach the camera on it, and I can move the camera in whatever direction I want, wherever I want it pointed at or facing, even vertical if I want to shoot that way. So that gives me a lot of flexibility, and it's also space saving. I initially considered using a wall mount to attach the camera to the top of my TV, but ended up not wanting to have all that bulk around the TV. So the last thing I added to the setup was a microphone. So you have tons of options for these. There's budget options out there, there's expensive options out there, but you really get what you pay for. And honestly, I've been through all kinds of different mics. I'll tell you guys right now, you don't really need the top of the line, the best of the best to make an impact. I decided to go for the Shure SM7B. This is definitely one of the top of the line mics that you'll find out there, and it is not cheap at all, but you don't have to go for this. It's an XLR mic, so the way to set it up is different from how you would set up using a USB mic. So all you got to do with a USB mic is connect it directly to your PC. So that's all it is. You connect it to your PC and it's good to go. For an XLR mic, especially one like the SM7B from Shure, what you want to do is get a cloud lifter, which will boost your sound, make you sound a lot better and a lot cleaner. The mic might sound a little low if you don't use that, and if you increase the gain, it might introduce some noise and things you don't want. The Shure SM7B requires the cloud lifter as well as an audio interface. So I've paired the Scarlett 2i2 audio interface with the cloud lifter as well as the mic for a seamless setup. The way I've set it up is connecting an XLR cable from the mic directly to the cloud lifter, and then from the cloud lifter I connect another XLR mic that runs to the audio interface, and then I connected a USB cable to my PC, and that way it becomes the mic for my PC. As for the mic arm, I went for Throne Max's Zoom boom arm. So this is a very sturdy mic boom arm, but it also has cable management on top of it, so it allows you tidy that one XLR cable that goes from the mic to whatever you want to connect it to. So this last thing wasn't really added to the setup, it was already there. It's my headphones. So the headphones that I use with this setup is the SteelSeries Arctis 7P. So I bought it for my PlayStation 5 a while ago, but it also works well with PC as well as Android devices. So it comes with a USB-C dongle that allows it to communicate between whatever device you're trying to use it with. So I use the headphone to listen to music coming from my desktop, also listening to game audio as well as chat audio. Every kind of audio I listen to using the headphone. That part requires a whole lot more and is more software oriented. So like I said, I'm not talking about that part. I don't want the video to get out of hand and get too long. But if you guys want me to make a video on how I set up the OBS side of things for streaming, go ahead and spam that like button. If we can get it to 3,000 likes, I'll make the video by default. The last thing I did was connect the dongle to my PC. So if you're using a wired, headphone, or using headphones with regular USB dongles, then all you got to do is connect them to your PC. You essentially want your PC to use those headphones as your headphones, as the headphones for the PC. Just like you set up the mic to work with the PC, and the camera to become the webcam of the PC, as well as the monitor to be a second monitor for your PC. So in summary, what I've added to convert my gaming setup into a live stream setup are 2 Elgato key lights, a 4K camera from Canon, Shure's SM7B XLR dynamic microphone, a 15.6-inch portable monitor, a 4K 60 frames per second capture card from Elgato, as well as Bluetooth headphones. That's all you'll need to convert your gaming setup to a live stream setup. But that's all I've got for you guys in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Leave it down in the comment section. I will see you guys in my next video. It's Midas, and I'm out, y'all.